In this next topic, let's answer the question, when is the best time to buy a Tesla? I know a lot of you out there on this are on the sidelines right now and trying to figure out, are the discounts currently the best that it's ever been? Is it the best time to buy right now? What's the climate right now in terms of the thought process for Tesla in the second month of the quarter? So we'll talk about that. But before we could do that, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla deal hacking. So definitely hit that like button and subscribe. But let's talk about this because we are starting to see more posts like this. Shout out to Owen. You can now lease a Model 3 all in for $15,000, $500. The lease option is an amazing deal right now. Only $2,000 down, including taxes and fees. Tesla takes $7,500 federal tax credit out, $3,500 Massachusetts credit, so I think Maine or Massachusetts, and puts it toward your down payment. $367 a month, 36 months, or 15,000 miles a year. That's actually great, pretty great for a 15,000 mile a year lease. And because this is all possible because, well, A, there's state incentives, which is the MA credit, and then of course the $7,500 federal incentive as well, plus the $2,000 down. But the reason why this is all happening because there's plenty of various inventory discounts that have dropped onto the Tesla website, anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 for the Model 3 or the Model Y. But if you take a look at the history books, this is a Tesla price history tracker, we can see Tesla has been very fluid with their price increases and price decreases. If you're new to this, if you haven't been following along what has been going on, we've been actually live streaming and talking about Tesla prices and monthly payments and financing and things like that for the past year. Tapia can chime in and because he's a longtime viewer, or they're a longtime viewer, but you can see there's plenty of price increases and plenty of price decreases. And what we have noticed, because we're very observant here, it always follows the same exact plan. It starts in the beginning of each quarter where there's no discounts, no sort of price action at all. As we get to the second month of the quarter, because there's 4 quarters a year, so right now we're in the second month in November, there's a little bit of price action, maybe even more incentives. And as we get closer to the end of the month, and especially as we get into December and the end of the quarter, because Tesla's got to hit a big number, which is 1.8 million vehicles sold throughout the world. And so that's where Tesla gets very, very aggressive with incentives, especially if inventory spikes up like this. So this is a teslainfo.com. It's a third-party website that tracks Tesla inventory. You can see the mustard line is the Model Y inventory, and the pink line is Model 3 inventory. And just the other day, inventory spiked up for both of them. And so that's why Tesla probably increased the discounts on the inventory vehicles. And that's why we're seeing a lot more action for these vehicles. But taking a look at the price history tracker, you can see last year, last December, these are the boxes is to highlight what exactly happened. So on December 1st, Tesla instituted a $3,750 credit for all inventory sold by the end of the year. Then on December 22nd, because they probably were not feeling as many sales as they were looking for, they increased that discount to $7,500 plus added 10,000 supercharger miles for all vehicles delivered by the end of the year. So the question is it a good time to buy right now? Or should you wait until December? I would say if you can wait, if you don't need a vehicle next week, if you can wait it out for another month, you definitely should wait till December. But secondly, it kind of depends on where you're at as well. And what I mean by where you're at, like where you're located within the country. If you're near California, if you're near Texas, where the factories are pumping out Tesla vehicles, then you can wait even longer, maybe even to the 3rd or 4th week. You get kind of risky with the 3rd or 4th week by the end of the quarter of December. But on top of that, the flip side though is you got to make sure your financing is all squared away and set up as well. Most banks won't allow you to apply unless you have a VIN for the vehicle. You can do pre-approvals, but unless you're going to be using like Tesla financing, which is working all the way till the end of the month, or of course you're paying cash and you don't have to worry about financing at all. But if you are not, to go back to the point about factories, if you're not near a factory, then you would probably want to just wait till the end or first week of December, because it takes a little bit longer to ship that vehicle, ship your Tesla vehicle across the country from California all the way to the East Coast. So I don't want you to risk not taking delivery by the end of the year. But even if you aren't able to take delivery by the end of the year, I have a I have a weird hunch that it might not be the end of the world. And this is why. If we take a look at what happened last year, you can see in this column, we'll just take a look at Model Y because Model Y is the most sold vehicle for Tesla. So that's why we can kind of chart everything from here. Model Y was $66,000 at the beginning of the year. And if you waited all the way till January 12th, it went down to $53,000 or a $13,000 price cut. And so it could be a very interesting time next year because the one thing to combat that is there is a 7,500 point of sale discount or point of sale tax credit that should be taken off at the price of delivery. So maybe Tesla increases prices. It really depends on the first week and to see if there's more demand or if not demand, and if the inventory starts to sell or not by the beginning of next year. And so one indicator besides inventory is also interest rates. If interest rates go up as well, then maybe there could be more demand. And on top of that, just looking at Tesla's website right now, it says estimated delivery November to December. If that starts to push out to February, March, or even further, then that does mean that demand is too high and they aren't able to fulfill orders pretty quickly. But hopefully that makes a lot of sense. Just some food for thought. But really, I would say if you need a vehicle in the next month or so, wait till December 1st or even the end of the first week of December to see how the deals actually shake up for December, because Tesla's got to sell a bunch of vehicles by the end of the year. But let me know what your thoughts on it. Let me know what you're thinking. We're going to jump into the next topic with the live stream comments. But before we do that, if you're looking for the lowest monthly payment for your Tesla, that's where channel sponsors like Tenet come into play. Tenet is an approved Tesla financing partner and allow you to get the lowest monthly payment by deferring a portion of the loan, maybe even that $7,500 federal tax credit. They can do this because they work with credit unions and banks to get you the lowest monthly payment. So definitely check out Tenet down below in the description. And thank you to Tenet for sponsoring this video and a bunch of other videos this month. All right, water break.